Welcome back. In this video we're going to continue making parts for our trolley wheel assembly, and we're going to do the roller. So this is the third part of this one. If you haven't seen the other two videos, I would advise you go and take a look at when I created the bracket and when I did the base. But in this video it's all about the roller. As you can see here, there are not very many dimensions to this, but we're going to have to set up Inventor to create this so that we do have a diameter dimension. Also, I will link up in the top up here the video to when I did this in AutoCAD. So if you want to see some kind of comparison to this, you can do that as well. Alright, let's jump over to Inventor and get started. Alright, so like always, I usually click on the new icon just to make sure that I'm working in millimeters. And when the dialog box opens up, I'm going to select the standard millimeter IPT. As always, you can double click on this icon, or you can single click and hit the word create. Give it a couple of minutes to load, and while we're waiting on Inventor to load up, I just want to kind of pick your brain for a little bit. Hopefully you're enjoying this, and if you would like to see me do some other kind of videos or things of that nature, please drop that in the comment. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and hit the button if you don't mind, or at least like the video. Alright, let's carry on with what we're creating. Let's go ahead and click the plus icon here, and then I'm going to go ahead and click the XY plane. Now you'll see that I'm going to start kind of going a little bit faster because the other videos I was going a lot slower, and I'm trying to hopefully build your speed up. So I'm going to try to go a little bit faster, but not, super fast. I'll still explain all the details. Alright, so let's click on the XY plane. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to project in this axis here, and you can see at the bottom that's going to be the X-axis. So what I'm going to do is expand where it says origin. I'm going to select the X-axis, and then I'm going to select project geometry. And now you're going to see that there's a yellow line that's running right through here where the X-axis is. Alright, go ahead and escape out of that command. Select your yellow line, and then we're going to use the center line option. This is what's going to tell Inventor that we're creating diameter dimensions. So I'm going to click here. Just going to zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to start with my first line here at the bottom. So I'm going to go to the line command, and I'm just going to draw a line. I'm going to tell it the dimension of that line, and it's going to be 59. Now to stop it from going all kind of cattywampus or weird on you, I'm going to kind of draw a few lines just to get this set up, and then we'll go from that point. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that this stays in line here. Just like we did before with the vertical constraint, I'll choose vertical. Go find your green dot. Also make sure that you got green or some kind of dotted lines going up and down. So that's telling me that I'm locking things vertically. I'll select the green dot there, and then I'll select on the center point here. So I'm just going to keep that in line. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put a starting dimension on here. So I'm going to select, and it doesn't matter which order you select these in. I'll select my yellow line here, and my line I just created. And now I'll come out here and click in place. Now it's asking me for how tall or whatever I want on that. In this case, it's going to be 25. Look like I got something kind of weird happening in Inventor because usually it shows me what that number is. But hopefully it'll clear up as I go along. Okay. Next I'm going to draw the very topmost line. So I'm going to start with the line command again. Just draw whatever that length of that line is, and in this case the top line is sitting at 45. Next I'm going to go ahead and put them in line. So I'm going to choose the vertical option. I'm going to select the midpoint here. And I can select either the midpoint on this line, or I also can come down here and select the center point. I'll leave that up to you. They're all going to be the same points. Let's go ahead and do our dimension on this. So I'm going to go to dimension, click on this one, and then I'll click here. And the overall dimension of this one is going to be 100. Alright. Okay, so back on the PDF, you're kind of seeing the concept that I'm creating. So you've seen that I created this line here that's located at 58. And I also have my line that's at 45. I set two other dimensions on this line. And now I can start kind of building some other things. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't do the 87 one yet. I meant to say the 25 one. All right, so I did all of these dimensions so far, and you can see that it's kind of simple to do, and as long as you keep things in line with each other. All right, so let's go ahead and continue, and then I'm just gonna, for time's sake, I'm just gonna put the rest of these dimensions on here, and you'll see me go through it and explain it here in the video. Okay, so continuing down, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start creating the next lines I'm gonna need. So here I can start kind of free sketching. I'm gonna go from this endpoint, come straight down a little bit, kind of jog onto the inside, come down here. Make sure that it's in line with this point here. Left click, come down, and do that. I'll do the exact same thing on the other side here. So I'm just going to continue with the line. And if you want to make these two match up, you can. So when I come down, you'll see that I get the tracking off of that. A left click there. Come down, get a left click here. Come down, I'm getting a left click here. And I'm just kind of creating this shape here, and then finally here. Alright, so I'm going to start locking some things just to make sure I keep things or make it go a lot smoother than it should, or easier in this case. I'm going to go choose my horizontal constraint. I'll choose that center point and that one. And I'm just going to keep following this around. So I'm selecting the two endpoints that I want to be horizontal to each other. Alright, so that's going to help me out and make things a lot easier when I start putting the rest of these dimensions on. Let's go ahead and go to dimension. I'll select my center line here, select that endpoint, come and place that dimension. This one will be setting at 95. And then I'll start working on this side. So I'm going to go this dimension to this line. Oh, I already have that one. That one would actually throw me an error code. I needed the other one that's over here. So I'll go back to dimension, select the center line here, and this endpoint. I'll place it, and then this dimension is 87. And I start working on the ones on this side. So I'll select this dimension, and I did it again, didn't I? Okay, one more time. This dimension, this center line, and this endpoint is going to be sitting at 32. This center line and this endpoint will be sitting at 45. And now I'm going to put the dimension that's between here and here. So this dimension to here should be 10. And now I need to somehow center this. There's kind of multiple different ways to do that. The easiest that I find is if I go to equal and I just set any two of these lines equal to each other, that will do the job. So as long as I can select these two, or I can equal these two. Alright, here's my overall shape. Go ahead and hit the finish sketch button. And now let's go ahead and use revolve. Once I revolve it, you're going to see that it is one point, and it's just going to go ahead and revolve this rather quickly. Go ahead and select OK. Last thing we need to do is put the fillets on the inside of this one. That fillet dimension that we're looking for is going to be 6, and you can see that that applies to each one of these radii and the ones that are also sitting here at the bottom. Alright, and you can also verify that we did put all of the rest of these dimensions on. Alright, so let's go back to Inventor and go ahead and finish this one up. Alright, so now I'm in the fillet command. I'm going to set the radius to 6. I'll select that line there, and I also have a line here. And I accidentally hit the V button. Let me restart this command real quick. So I'll go to cancel, and it's going to be the same process. Set this equal to 6. I'll select that line and that one, and then I have to do the exact same thing on the other side. So I'll flip it around, that line there, and then this line here. And select OK. And now once we're done with this, go ahead and hit the save button. This is going to be our roller. And that should be all that we need to do on this one. So I would like you to compare and see how you can do it in Inventor versus AutoCAD. And you can see that Inventor kind of works a lot quickly. And also, now that I think about it, when I created that sketch, and this is another one of those things, if I wanted to go back and edit that sketch, I can select the little plus, and then I can double click on the sketch icon. And now you can see that I can come back to the sketch. Usually this happens, and I think I know what the problem that I did. I actually made this line out of a center line that was a axis. If I'd have drew it as a regular line, and I'll kind of test my theory here. And I drew a line here, and a line here. I'm going to select this line and make it a center line, and once I put the dimension on this one, it shouldn't give me this effect. So if I do a dimension from here to here, and it still gave me that effect. So I got to figure out what's going on in Inventor, and once I figure out kind of why this is not showing up like a regular way it should, I'll go ahead and send out an update video, or I'll kind of correct it or add on to this video. Thank you. And if you enjoyed this video, once again, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me, or the like button. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for watching this one, and you guys have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video.